a child is born, and to us, a daughter is given. The baby's healthy and came to earth with a clean slate. This family has the opportunity to write the first set of codes on the mind of their newborn.
I grew up in a loving family. I had all the love and attention I needed from my nuclear family. My mom always reminded me that I was created for a purpose and I should focus on discovering what it is. She was and still is my biggest supporter. She did all she could to support whatever project idea I came up with. No idea was too crazy or impossible, but my emotional and psychosocial development did not depend solely on my nuclear family. I struggled with low self-esteem as a child and teenager. I thought I had to do some extra work to please people so I could be accepted. I am the only dark-skinned person in my family. My parents and siblings are all light in complexion. Literally everyone called me Blackie. Immediately they met the other members of my family. It definitely wasn't a compliment, I knew it. This made me feel like I was not as beautiful as my fair-complexioned siblings. Trust me, I do not think they knew the negative impact of their words on a young, growing mind.
Self-esteem generally is an individual's subjective evaluation of yourself, and it involves your beliefs about what you've known and when growing up and who you are now. So if you look at an individual and say, okay, this person has a good self-esteem or positive self-esteem, because those are the words you can use, adjective, to qualify whether this person has self-esteem enough, or some people even use healthy self-esteem. Is the way the individual carries him or herself, the way the individual interacts with people, the way the individual even views him or herself. So for example, you tell somebody, oh, you look beautiful, they are doubting. Are you sure? So you know that person is definitely doubting his or her self-esteem, because if you are beautiful, you should actually even say it before an individual tells you how beautiful you are. So these are the things that we'll look at and say, okay, this person is somebody who is having challenges with his or her self-esteem. As adults, we overlook a lot of things, but when it comes to children, because those are the formative years for any individual, that is really where we look at self-esteem issues and quickly nip it in the bud in rectifying those challenges. So it could be good self-esteem, it could be healthy self-esteem, it could be positive self-esteem, but it all boils down to how much that individual views himself or views herself, how much this individual interact, how much this individual, exercise confidence, and then take bold charge in view of whatever the individual is putting his or her hands on. Because with your good or positive self-esteem, even if you are doing something not good or wrongly, it will show or exhibit that confidence that this person seems to know what he or she is, even if it's rubbish, because of that self-esteem that you are putting in place, with the boldness and the enthusiasm that comes with it. It's just somebody that would say, okay, I think what you're doing is definitely wrong. It's not the way you're supposed to do it. And somebody with a positive and good or healthy self-esteem will be able to accept correction and look at it that they are not trying to bring her down, rather corrective ways to also help him or her to have a better self-esteem.
As a child, I did not go out to play like my siblings did. I spent my time in solitude, basically lying on my bed and daydreaming. I remember when I was about 5 or 6 years old, we were preparing for a Christmas carol in church. I was selected as one of the children who would sing the 12 days of Christmas. I was number 5, and I was supposed to sing the melodious 5 gold rings, but I couldn't. I was so shy. The teacher had to get a replacement, and I was moved to number 7. I was not confident enough in myself. That number 5 position was too important from what I heard, and the thought of not doing it well made me almost dumb when I should be singing loud.
People with low self-esteem, they're not good leaders too. They can't own up. They're not confident. They don't trust. They have no challenges even knowing who truly they are. So all that you promise your child this and you don't do it is not even a good thing. It rubs off on their self-esteem. Because they just believe that you just trick them just to get what you wanted at that time, yes.
We carried out a survey amongst 200 teenagers in order to assess their sense of self-esteem. Now, the results show that over 41% of the surveyed population had low self-esteem. 58.5% felt that they didn't meet up with the standards of their friends. 35.3% had reported they didn't like a part of their appearance, while 40% felt their friends looked better than them.
From GSS 1, I go to boarding school. I started seeing how some of my mates were muscular or tall or had, this beards growing and all that. So that's why I started getting worried, because I wasn't muscular. I didn't even have interest in being muscular. So right now, I'm still working on getting fat. Not really fat, but like being fit, simply that way. So I'm not really happy with being thin. There were times I was talking with some guys and they'll be like, "Guy, you're thin," or something like that. And there were times I was talking with some girls and they'll be like, "I like guys that are muscular." So they don't really say it directly, but to me it's like, what if I'm supposed to be with eventually, this person that likes someone that's muscular, how am I going to react and that kind of thing, all these worries and that. So I think I would have eventually, even if I didn't attend boarding school.
Sometimes I used to feel like I'm not beautiful. I like to feel like myself. My face is not beautiful. I used to look at many girls like me. They are pretty, they are really beautiful. But I used to still think that I'm not beautiful. Not like to look at my face.
We're all in the class, we're playing. Then we were doing a game called arm wrestling. We wrestle with ourselves, with our arms. So when we're wrestling, we notice that there will be like an increase in your muscle. Then I was now wrestling with one of my friends. Then I was wrestling, my muscles were just the same, and they just making fun of me, and I felt bad. When I got home, I told my mom, and mom told me not to worry, that there's no problem, that she likes me the way I am. And I was like, okay.
My nose and my legs is always sweating. They used to abuse me then when I was in SS1 and 2. So I had my nose on the side of a shoe. Stuff like that.
There was a time like that when a friend of mine came and was holding my hand. So we were running to something I can't remember, and he held my hand. I was like, "Guy, my entire hand is going around your wrists." Then that's how he measured. There's this thing we do. We take our finger and just do that kind of thing. And he found out that there was no space for 3 of his fingers to fit in, and I didn't find it funny. So I got mad at him. I shouted at him, and eventually I started thinking about it. I started noticing. That was when I started noticing majorly. That was when I started noticing that I was actually very thin.
When I got to junior secondary school, that was when, during our winter sports, I broke my leg. Then after some days, if they visit me in the hospital, they will be making jest of me. That was when one of the nurses told me that I should never mind them, that they are just using it as fun. Then I said, okay, since they are just joking with me, that I should just accept it. From then, most of my old friends, what they call me is Esekon. So
You don't call it name.
that's my nickname.
Esekon, what does it mean?
One leg. Not as I don't like the way I look. I do like the way I look, but sometimes people complain about it, that my leg is not straight, I have a clean leg, but sometimes it used to make me angry. Actually, I like the way I look.
I remember back then when I was still small, I attended all these private schools, so like let me just say they bully me then. one thing about me I don't like is my ear. Because my sister do tell me that, yes, mama, yeah. My sister do tell me that if I should have any grudges with anybody, the listener I'll just tell the person, you cannot beat me, you just abuse me that I have a big ear. So my sister used to be like, that word is funny, like, the person cannot beat me. The last thing the person can do is just to abuse me, I have a big ear. And that thing do pay me a lot, because even when I go to secondary school level, they be like, this boy is good, everything, but it's just his ear. And I remember I have this Yoruba teacher back then in primary school. On assembly ground as the head boy back then, she'd be like, hey, big ear, come here. That thing pains me a lot, because even my juniors, they don't know me by name. Let me just say most of them don't know me by name. They just know me by senior big ear. That thing pains me a lot. And my primary school back then, most of them, they're all these rich people, Baptist going, they be like, that senior with big ear. Even if they see me outside, I saw that senior with big ear then. So even if I should go back to my primary school and just see some of the teachers, they be like, wow, see that big ear, senior seems. So let me just say my big ear. As an instrumentalist, maybe if you go out for any like show or concert, at times I do feel like, should I say it's because of my hair? Most of, like, let me say most girls don't walk up to me, because when we go for administration, at least if I don't lead with saxophone, I just back up with trumpet. But some ministrations or concerts that we have been going to, maybe when we get there, the ushers then like welcome us in a good manner. And when it's time for us to just minister, when we're about to leave, I do notice that most of my friends do get, let me say, enough attention from others. And at times I do feel lonely that, is it because of the way I look, my hair, or things like that? And this past stuff, is it still happening?
Low self-esteem has been shown in quite a number of mental illnesses as one of the, factors and or risk factor or causes, because once somebody is dealing with low self-esteem, they are not involved in a lot of things that will even promote their mental health better. They practice avoidance, social withdrawal, not interacting well with people, not even involving themselves in social activities that will help them. So they do social exclusion as against social inclusion. And we do understand the benefit of social inclusion and social interaction. It's one factor that has been seen to boost our happiness level. So once somebody start practicing those things that will not aid in his or her mental status or mental health abilities, then problems will set in, and low self-esteem is one of them. So yes, so it's very linked with issues with anxiety, depression, substance abuse. So because why do teenagers even go into substance abuse? To feel better, to do better, to enhance their skills, to even experiment. People with low self-esteem tend to, take it to look, because you can't talk to that girl. When you take this, it will help you. So they will use it and they feel that, this is helping me. They feel confident at that point. They will go and meet the girl. The moment they can't really, the substance wears off, they go, what is that thing you gave me? Before you know what is happening, tolerance, dependence, addiction. That wasn't the intention. But now, because you keep going back there, you will never know when you cross the line and addiction result in it. So self-esteem is very key, irrespective of the fact that there are other factors that are implicated in mental illnesses, but self-esteem is one thing. Because it's also when you have good or healthy self-esteem, you say, look, I'm not taking that. And I've read many literatures. My parents have also told me these things are not good. So why should I? If the girl doesn't like me, and then I'll look for somebody else. So you see where self-esteem is rubbing off on so many aspects of our lives that we need to be able to build on. So yes, it's highly linked, and studies have shown it worldwide too.
In this episode, we provided the background to how a sense of self-esteem can affect other areas of a teenager's well-being, from the feeling of being uncomfortable with a certain physical attribute to feeling that others are more beautiful than they are. You see, all of these tends to contribute to the sense of low self-esteem amongst our teenagers. Next on BYL.
I'm the last of 6 children. I grew up in a family, 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls. We were what I can say a middle-class family-ish at the time. I mean,
growing up was good. I think the first 10 years was very good.
And then something happened at the age of 10 that sort of changed the lifestyle of life like I knew it.
Like, from 11 upwards, they were having marital problems that were affecting us as children.